Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams, and welcome to your reading. I'm so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading. It's for the collective, so take what resonates and leave the rest. All right. So, yesterday, I was at the barbershop. Not for me, obviously, but I love going in there because they usually are watching a game. And when I come in there, they know I love listening to music. So they're so sweet. They put some music on. And so about the third song that they played was Maxwell. Shouldn't I realize you're the highest of the high? And if you don't know, then I'll say it, so don't ever wonder. I love that song, and I had forgotten how much I loved it. It's called Ascension, if you're not familiar with it. So, two things came through with that song. The first thing is that for some of you, you have a soulmate that you may be in separation from. The lyrics of that song, that's how your soulmate feels about you. It's like their soul is singing to yours, okay? So that'll resonate with some of you. And the other thing about that song is that it's just such a beautiful reminder of who you are. That you are the highest of the high. You're so beautiful. And I'm getting these vibes of spiritual warfare, but in a way that seems very obvious in the physical, right? So what I'm picking up on is like people doing things that you can't deny it. You know, it's like it's in your face. And I've been through that. So I just wanted to share that song with you as a reminder. If you need to go listen to it, it is kind of romantic, but I feel like when you listen to the lyrics, you can also think of Spirit, the divine, singing those lyrics to you and reminding you of the beautiful being that you are. So yeah, that's a great song. The other song that came through was from way back in the day. It's called Si Te Vas, and I looked it up on Amazon, and there's actually like two other Si Te Vas songs. But okay, so it's in Spanish, but this one didn't pop up. So if you want to listen to it, you have to put in Si Te Vas, Marc Anthony. It's a salsa song by Marc Anthony. And I'm actually not going to sing it because it starts off Si te vas, donde quiera que estés, mi canto escucharás. Now, after that, it almost sounds like a curse. So now when I was jamming to this song back in 99, I didn't think anything of it, right? But the song is being sung by a scorned lover, right? And so he's saying, if you leave, right? Now the part I sang right there, he's saying, you will hear my song wherever you go, and you'll miss me. But then he goes into saying other things, and he's telling the person that's going to leave him from this relationship, he's saying like that they'll never find love, and what else? I wrote it down. He says you'll regret it. It's kind of like it's a little heavy when you think of it. Like when you're just dancing salsa to it, you're like, ooh, you know, you don't really think about the meaning of the lyrics, but it really is like this person is saying, if you leave, and they're speaking curses over this person, cursing the future of their love life. So, in the last reading, a work situation came through. I don't know what's going to come through in this reading, but change has been coming through. Some of you might be changing your work location, changing jobs. Some of you might be going through a transition in your relationship. But I just feel like with that, the energy of that song coming through so strong, there might be someone who really wants to hold on, and it's sort of beyond, if you go, you'll regret it. It's more like, if you go, this, and this is going to happen, and they might actually be trying to do energetic work in order to influence you, right? Or to get you to stay, or to get you to feel a certain way. And so, as always, protection is important, but I just wanted to share that with you, okay? We'll see what comes through with the reading, but for those of you who might be experiencing something like that, and you'll know, if that's for you, it'll resonate. There might be somebody who's acting real crazy, and it's going beyond just the whole, like, can we talk this out? You know, I'm sad, I'm upset. It's like this person is doing everything, even energetically, to try to hold you back or to influence you, but through magical workings. And so, you know, those things happen when people get desperate. You know, they do desperate things. So I just wanted to share that with you. If it resonates, then just make sure you're staying protected. Make sure that the most important thing is to keep your vibe high, because when you keep your vibe high, you're focusing on your self-love, you're nurturing yourself, then your mind stays strong and you stay focused on what's important. Something that's coming through is when you wake up in the morning, if you start to experience attacks, like if you start to get depressed or sidetracked with something that you're going through, worrying about it, when you wake up in the morning, give thanks, always give gratitude, and start my day high vibe. But then I ask my ancestors and my spirit allies for guidance on the most important things that I need to do that day. Okay? And so you know your schedule, you know the list of things that you want to get done. So just decide on maybe the top 3 to 5 things that you want to accomplish in the day, and then you already have a sense of direction, so that when your mind starts to wander, or if it starts to wander into the trenches, you know what I'm saying, going down a rabbit hole, you're able to redirect yourself back to your original tasks that you had set for yourself. Okay, so hopefully that'll be helpful to someone. Thank you, Spirit. What messages do you have for this beautiful being with the runes? All right, you've got Sowilo, which is empowerment, life force, achieving success, which is what you are doing, no matter what it feels like. This is also card 16, though. You can screenshot that if you like. Card 16 is, in the tarot, it's the Tower. So you might be going through a major transformation right now. I feel like for some of you, it's not just about what you're going through in the physical realm, it's also about changes within. Divine wants to remind you that whatever changes you're experiencing right now that seem so crazy in the physical realm, it really is an experience that's going to sharpen you on the inside. It's allowing you to expand and to get in touch with parts of yourself that you maybe had forgotten about, or that you didn't even know existed. Powers. Okay, so empowerment is coming through with this rune. You are going through a transformation that is bringing you so much empowerment. It's going to help you. It's going to transform you. And you won't recognize yourself once you have gone through all of this. You're going to be even stronger, even more powerful, and even more divine than you already are. Okay, you've also got Uras. This is about health, strength. You're unstoppable. You're fearless. You're a driving force. And this is why you're experiencing some of these obstacles that you're facing right now, is because Divine wants you to know just how strong you are. And how would you know that unless you've been tested? Okay, let's see what oracle card is coming through for you. Thank you, Divine. What message do you have for this beautiful being? Your commitment is being tested. Yeah, and I feel like this is about your commitment to yourself, your commitment to your spiritual path. You might be in a situation right now where, if you have ever struggled with any addictive behaviors, you might be tested right now. You're like, I sure would like this or that right now. you know, wanting to soothe yourself perhaps with things that you know are not good for you. But once again, your commitment to yourself is being tested. Your commitment to your self-love. What's coming through is don't punish yourself, okay? So there are times where you can indulge and you can relax and enjoy something, okay? But you really don't want to go back to any behaviors that have been destructive, because you deserve better than that. So if there's something that has taken you away from your true path, from your path of loving yourself, then do something else. Choose something else, okay? Because that ain't it right there. I'm gonna put one of these. I'm just feeling it right now. I'm gonna take them. All right, Cloak and Dagger, there's some deception. Okay, so there may be someone who has tried to deceive you. That's card 7. Oh, well, they're hugging. When I really look into the card, so this could be someone who's close to you who has deceived you. And they have tried to cloak themselves wearing a mask, because that's how people cloak themselves. It's not like this person actually wore a disguise. They cloaked themselves with a mask. They didn't want you to know who they really are. Okay, so there was definitely deception there. Deep being, self-love and acceptance, that's what you're being guided to do right now, is to truly choose yourself, and also know that your self-love protects you, because you've got 44 right there. So as you choose to love yourself, that is your ultimate protection at this time. Okay? The spirits, respecting spirit. Yeah, there's someone around you who did not respect spirit. And they used low vibrations and dark workings to try to deceive you or distort your reality. This is someone who uses chaos magic. They did not respect your well-being. They did not respect your wishes. They did not respect your energy, and they do not respect the divine. This is someone who acts as though they are love and light. Okay? Love and light. As if that's all there was. You know? Yeah. What's coming to me is closet spiritualist or closet occultist. Closet occultist. This is someone who uses magic behind closed doors, but they don't want to reveal to you what they do ever. And if they ever mention anything to you about spiritual workings, they'll say love and light. They'll talk about manifesting. They'll make it very like surface. You know, they might mention crystals. They might talk about having a tarot deck or two, but they don't want to reveal to you that they are out here working with spirits like Baphomet. Okay. I mean, that's what I'm seeing here with these two cards beside one another. Cloak and Dagger and respecting the spirits. They certainly don't. Okay, because of the energy of this reading, I definitely want to pull an Archangel Michael card, and then we'll get into some clarifying cards to see what's going on. Thank you, Archangel Michael. What message do you have for this beautiful being with all this energy that's already coming through? This is a blessing in disguise. So what you're going through is a blessing in disguise. Be patient and have faith that your angels have this situation under control. What will come is far better than you dared to dream. This is about a transformation, beautiful being, and everything that you're going through right now is taking you to a better place. But this is like the threshold that you have to cross in order to get there. 1444 was just on the timer. I've been seeing that number all day. Your new beginnings are protected, okay? Archangel Michael is with you now. Even though you can't see it, he is actively working on this situation. He is here and he is helping you. Please know that. You can always call on Archangel Michael or any energies that you work with in order to assist you, because he's definitely coming through for you. Okay, Divine, I want to pull some, okay, yeah, we're going to start with this one. Some tarot. To see the situation that this beautiful being is currently experiencing, what they're going through regarding their current situation or any conflict. Thank you, Divine. What messages do you have for this beautiful being? Okay. This one touched first. Yeah. One more. Okay. All right, so it feels here like there is definitely a situation where someone's walking away, okay? With this Eight of Swords, there's communication, but it feels very cold with this Queen of Swords. Now, I see this Queen of Swords in two ways. First and foremost, I see you making a decision, okay? You're making a decision. You're in your decisive energy. It's like there's really not much room for discussion anymore. You have made up your mind and you are firm on what it is that you want to do. You know the direction that you want to move in, okay? There is communication here, though, coming from a person who is wanting to cause deceit or deception. This goes along with that Cloak and Dagger card. So there's someone who does not like what you have communicated. You have expressed something, whether it's a decision that you've made or plans that you have. Someone does not like what you have said. This could be in a job environment or work environment. This could be in a home environment. This could be within a relationship. This could be within a friendship. Maybe you have decided that your boundaries are firm and clear. You have had this dagger in your back way too many times and you're done. So there's something that you have made a firm decision on, but they don't like it. There's someone here who does not like it with that Seven of Swords. They may have tried to deceive you. This could be with that Si Te Vas song that was coming through. This could be someone doing work to try to make you stay, to try to change your point of view, to try to convince you to do what it is that they want you to do instead of them. It feels like there's a lot invested here with this person. It feels like they are heavily invested in their efforts to try to change your point of view. Okay? With the Judgment card, you've made your choice. There is no, like, I don't see any ifs, ands, or buts here. You've made your decision. The judgment has been made. I just heard court is in session. So I feel like you have gone through a series of thoughts and contemplation where you have looked at everything. You've looked at the evidence. And so you have made your judgment. Court is in session. That's letting me know that you have arrived to the correct judgment, to the right decision, because you've looked at it all. You've weighed the evidence. You've heard the witness's testimony. And now you're like, I'm ready to be independent with this Nine of Pentacles. You're ready to experience independent abundance. And you want to sustain yourself. Whatever support it was that you were getting from this connection or from this relationship, from this work situation, you're ready to do it on your own or in another environment. And so you're here with the Six of Swords, moving on. You're moving on. So with Spirit bringing through the Cloak and Dagger, I want to know more about this Cloak and Dagger. Like, what's... Okay, somebody's confused about the communication, or they're acting like they're confused about your communication, although with you coming through as the Queen of Swords there, it's like you're very decisive. There's nothing unclear about what you said. It's either in your words, which with the Queen of Swords, it feels like words, plus Eight of Wands is there, but it feels like you have either made things clear in the past, because this is something that it feels like it's happened over time. With the Judgment card being there, it's like, and with Spirit bringing through Courtesan Session, it's like this has been going on for quite a while. You've had time to think about this and to contemplate. But if it's been going on for a while, then you've been sharing with this person either through your body language, through your verbal expression, through your conversations. Like, this person is very clear about what you want, but they're trying to act like they're confused. Because I just saw the Two of Swords there and Eight of Wands again. So they're trying to act like they're confused about your communication, but it feels more like denial at this point. Okay, you've got the Seven of Coins, Seven of Pentacles, and Strength. Yeah, see, Seven of Pentacles is a very patient card. This is something that's been going on for quite a while. And with it taking this long for this person to constantly act like they don't understand what you're saying, constantly coming back to the same point of discussion, whatever it was. For those of you who this is in the workplace, this is a conversation that you've had either with your coworkers or with an employer many times. This is not something new that you just sprung up on them. And so you've had time to gather your strength. And, you know, the Strength card is also about ego. It's like, you know what you want now. You're determined. I feel that, like, with everything in this reading. It feels like you already know what you want. And it's because it's dragged on for so long. At this point, you're like, look, I'm done. I've made my choice. Divine, please clarify Seven of Swords. Okay, so Four of Pentacles. I always see this card in this deck as someone trying to take control over the situation, trying to guide either someone or a situation in the direction that they want it to go in, not taking into account anyone else's wishes, desires. This is about manipulation and control, a desire for control. With Nine of Swords here, there's someone who has tried to cause you pain. Point blank, period. I mean, because look, we have, okay, and then we also have Daughter of Knives. This is, I have to think about the correspondences because the names are different in this deck. But this is Knight of Swords, okay? So this could be a feminine energy that has been combating you, or that could be you, okay? But with the Knives energy, that could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, air sign, okay? And this feels like their words have cut. Their words are like daggers. That's what I'm hearing. Their mouth brings death. And that's exactly why we have the Seven of Swords on the table, because they use words to bring harm. I want to get some clarity on this, because with that Si Te Vas coming through, and I was picking up on, okay, this could be related to a situation with a house or real estate. It could also involve actual money, okay? This could be an argument that is related to money, or, yeah. Please clarify Seven of Swords, Divine. Seven of Swords. Okay. There could be a karmic masculine involved here, or this is masculine energy that's being used in order to bring control to this situation. Okay, someone's using divination or tarot readings, some sort of methods to tap into the ethers to figure out what's going on. Somebody's trying to get information on what's going on. Yeah, someone here is in their ice energy, Ice King. They're like, look, it is what it is. Like, someone here is not trying to discuss anything else. They're not trying to, I feel like this could be you because it feels like you have your mind made up, okay? And it doesn't matter that it's king. It could be masculine or feminine, all right? But I feel like because the masculine energy is coming through, it's very, very decisive. It's like there's no room for connection at this point. If this was a friendship or some sort of relationship where there was, you know, at one time there were warm and fuzzies, the warm and fuzzies are gone. With that 9 of Swords coming out, I feel like some words could have been said that cannot be taken back, and someone's words just went too far. Someone just went too far. They said too much. And it can't be taken back at this point. And the reason why they spoke those words was to try to gain control over a situation that potentially, because this is 4 of Coins, their motive could have been money. Perhaps they wanted to control a situation because of the wealth that you have, or, you know, it doesn't have to be financial. It could be, but it could also be just your vibe. You have a very rich vibe about you, and so they wanted to continue to harness your energy and steer you in whatever direction they wanted you to go into in order to maintain a certain level of control over you. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm seeing this card again in this deck. And I'm all about self-love, but I do see this as someone doing sex magic. And in this case, it is to cause confusion for someone who is trying to think independently. And I feel like that's you. Okay? I feel like that's you, but in a reading, you have to, you know, flip it to make it fit however it fits, okay, as it resonates. But I feel like there was someone who, because you were here steadfast in your decision, and you could identify masculine, feminine, it doesn't matter, because here I saw you as Queen of Swords, where you're like, look, I've made up my mind, okay? But this person that was opposing you, whether they did not want you to leave a relationship, they didn't want you to leave a work environment. This could be a coworker who is completely obsessed with you. This could be a neighbor who's completely obsessed with you. This could be a friend who's completely obsessed with you. This could be an ex who's completely obsessed with you. Okay? Whatever, however it applies in your situation, but ultimately this is about someone who was not okay with you distancing yourself or changing the dynamic of the relationship or the status of the relationship. Okay, and so they were using magic. I feel like this is sex magic, okay? And they're trying to use their energy to influence you. I want to get more information on this 6 of Swords, because that's where you're going. You're headed to a better place. Okay? You're headed to calmer waters. This was a lot of confusion and disillusionment. So where is the collective headed? Ooh. Oh my. Okay, so you've got courting. This is the Lovers. So this is about union within yourself. You are going to experience the benefit of knowing that you're moving in the direction that you want to move in. You're not allowing this confusion that they've been trying to stifle you with and redirect you with, stop you. You're not letting that stop you. You're moving forward and you are living in harmony with your true calling and with what you know is right for your life. For some of you, you are calling in your soulmate. I see that. I feel like there is going to be a new start in love for you. Okay, if this applies, now if you're happily joined with someone, then that doesn't apply, right? But it is coming through that some of you are walking away from a relationship. So what Divine is saying is that you are walking away from something that was meant to teach you. It was karmic, okay? Now that could be where that karmic masculine came through. It could be karmic masculine or karmic feminine, but what's really coming through here is that whoever you were with, I don't care if you're male, female, non-binary, or whatever the gender is of whatever person you have been with. If you are leaving a relationship, what's coming through is that the person that you were with was acting in toxic masculine energy. I don't care if they are female, I don't care if they are male or non-binary, whatever. It doesn't matter about their gender. This person was acting in toxic masculine energy. What does that look like? It's, you know, well, we've got plenty of examples as far as like toxic world leaders, you know. It's someone who is very pushy. They don't listen to anyone. They don't honor intuition. They just want to act and push and do what they want. And they want to create whatever outcome to every situation, whatever outcome it is that they want. That's toxic masculine energy. They try to create situations or affect situations with brute force, whether it's through their harsh words or whether it's through violence. Okay, this person may have been violent. This person may have been violent. That's just coming through. So you know what? What I'm getting is that, like, you have experienced so much disrespect. I knew this was going to be a heavy reading. I knew it. You have experienced so much disrespect. And so the choices that you make to make a move or to create boundaries and to reel in your energy, to call back your energy and to protect yourself and create the life that you want, it's not just good, it's amazing that you're doing that, because what you're doing is you're freeing yourself. And Divine, how long, what's the timing of the relationship investment? Okay, Four of Swords. I mean, it's going to be different for you all, but I feel like you've gotten comfortable in this relationship. Like, no matter how long you've been in this relationship, you allowed yourself to get comfortable. And that's what you're supposed to do in a relationship, right? You're supposed to feel comfortable with your lover, especially if this was a marital union. Even in a workplace, we allow ourselves to get comfortable with where we work. We might forget about our resume and not keep it up to date. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're just like, oh, it's easy to come in here every day, and then you deal with the same old bullshit every day, day in and day out, and it begins to wear away at the soul, right? So whatever situation this was, whether it was work or marriage or relationship, whatever, you got comfortable in it, and you had kind of like, I'm hearing turn a blind eye to a lot of the cruel things that this person did or that this work environment did to you. And why do we do that? Why do we turn a blind eye in relationships? Why do we, when someone treats us with total disrespect, why do we make that a yellow light issue instead of a red light and stop it right then and there? Because in our childhood, we were programmed to put up with certain things. We were programmed to believe that certain types of treatment, certain types of words spoken to us were just normal, and that was okay. 3444 on the timer. Whatever collaboration this was or whatever relationship this was, you're protected as you make whatever moves you need to in order to guard your protection and to honor your protection, because that's what you're doing. You are honoring yourself, your self-love, and your divine protection that you have by supporting it, by removing yourself from any situation or environment that has become dangerous or so incredibly toxic, where people are trying to use magic against you. Like, if you're going to use magic, use it to uplift people. Use it, you can use it to protect yourself, you know, and at the end of the day, we all have free will. So use magic as you wish. But there is always a heavy price to pay when we use rituals in order to influence people who have no business being controlled by us. And that's what this person was doing. Whoever this was, whether it was a toxic boss or a toxic husband or a toxic wife or a toxic boyfriend or a toxic friend or a toxic neighbor, whatever it was, they were toxic as hell. And they were acting in their karmic, toxic, masculine energy, trying to control things that they had no business controlling. Trying to control the outcome of things that they had no business controlling. They should have just been trusting the divine. But in their fear and in their drama and trauma, they got caught up and wanted to control you. And so, as many of us do, we allow ourselves to get comfortable. We make excuses for people. We give them allowances that they don't deserve. But that is because at one time we were in a situation where we were shown the way that, you're supposed to put up with this. This is normal. This type of toxic treatment is normal. And then you start to believe it. And even though you might have said at one point in your life, what I went through was so toxic, it was so bad, I'm never gonna be in a situation like that. It's like that programming is so deep that you end up being with a person in a relationship, in a marriage, or in a work environment that treats you almost just like that toxic situation from the past, whether it was a parent or a family member or someone who mistreated you. And so now you're in this really beautiful state where you're like, I've made my choice. I'm not going back there. That's not okay with me anymore. I'm not okay with all those rude comments, all of those mean attempts to control, because it really is just rude and awful and cruel. What Divine is saying is that you're not responsible for fixing this person or for fixing this environment. That's not your responsibility. So going back to where you're going, where you're headed, like, what is this Six of Swords? We know you're going to a more beautiful space, to a more beautiful place, to a more beautiful frequency. But this looks like love. And it looks like self-love. It looks like alignment with your true divine path. And it also, for some of you, you are attracting your true soulmate, your true divine counterpart. And that's one reason why this is so difficult, is because you're being tested. But you're, oh my gosh. And here we have the Two of Cups. Oh, Two of Cups, Chariot. Yeah. You're moving towards a really beautiful connection. Yeah. Okay, what else came out for the Six of Swords? Oh, okay, so this is Mother of Knives or Queen of Swords. What's coming along with this new era of your life that you're entering is your decisive nature. That came out before, because Queen of Swords has come through a couple of times. But it's like knowing that you made the right choice. Knowing that you don't have to move forward with any doubts because you went through something like this, where you had to gather you had to take decisive action and really decide that you were going to make a choice that was best for you. I also see, like, this looks like a nurse uniform to me. Ashe. Your healer. You're a healer. And what you've done by making this choice is you have protected your healing gifts, because there's someone who wanted to siphon that from you. There's someone who knew the light that you have. This is whoever this was that was trying to tell you, no, you're not going to go. You know, whoever this was that was trying to control you, that's who was also trying to do work on you. And they wanted to siphon your energy. I feel like this person does not talk about what they do behind the scenes. They don't talk about it. They don't reveal it to people. But they're out here doing all kinds of spells. And they're not doing spells to help people. They're not doing spells to heal people like you're doing. I mean, I'm not saying you're doing spells, but you do work. You put energy out there in order to heal people, whether you call it a spell or energy work or whatever. What you do helps people. The way you interact with people helps them. The way that you speak to people helps them. The way that you smile at people helps them. You're a kind being, and that's what these antagonists who have been in your life, who have been in your world trying to control you, that's what they don't know about. They don't know about using their energy in order to help someone or to get them in a better space. And if they do, oh, you best believe everybody in town gonna know about it. They're gonna put it on the front page. I helped somebody. You know, that's and that's a form of narcissism. I think they call them community narcissists or something like that. I don't know. But there's a certain type of narcissist or an aspect of narcissism where people like to be, you know, the head of a community board or the head of a community organization or a church. You know, I imagine a lot of deacons and deaconesses and all that stuff might be along those lines with narcissism. It's like they have to receive recognition for the good work that they do. And while there's nothing wrong with being recognized and there's nothing wrong with holding a title, but the question is that why you did it, or did you do it to help the people that, the community that you're serving? You know what I mean? And bottom line, who wants to live with a person like that? Who wants to work under someone like that? Yeah, you're cut from a different cloth. You're cut from a different cloth. When you wake up in the morning, you ask yourself, what can I do today to either, and I'm not saying that you know, are, I'm not comparing you to like Mother Teresa or something like that. I'm not saying that that's how you have to be. But when you wake up in the morning, you have an intention within your heart just to do the best that you can. If you can't help someone, at least you don't want to harm them, because we're not always in a state where we can give someone what they might need, right? Sometimes we're just trying to keep it together for ourselves, right? And that's okay. You don't have to be Mother Teresa. You don't have to dedicate your life to doing that day in and day out and, you know, forego having any sort of family life or anything like that. But you are a kind-hearted being, and you are a chosen one, because you've been chosen to do this work that these people have tried to stop you from doing. And even if it's a lover, even if it's an ex or someone that was in your workplace, there are people who are given an assignment on a soul level. I'm not even saying that this person is aware of what they were doing. With the magical workings, I know that at least they were just trying to control you. But on a soul level, they were put here on your path to give you conflict. And this conflict, when you move past it, as you move past it, because you will, because you're already above it, you're going to have a deeper understanding of who you are and of your assignment here on earth. And that's going to feel so damn good. And you're going to know that it was worth it. Also, okay, so you got love here. You've got, you're clearly a healer, and you take decisive action to make choices in your life. 44 on the timer. More fours. You're protected. And then you've got the Queen of Coins here, the Mother of Coins. This is Queen of Pentacles energy. This is where you can relax. You can know that you are balanced. You can know that you are fruitful and that you have everything that you need. You're going to have days where you can just chill. I feel like that's something that you want because you already came through here with the Four of Swords. I know that you do like to relax, and that's something that's very important. Divine is saying that if you ever feel guilty about taking time to rest and relax, please don't, because you are a healer. You're already coming through in this card as a healer. You know, in the Bible, when they talk about, it would say, and Jesus went to pray. Jesus went to pray. He went to talk to the Father. Or it's some kind of way they say it in the Bible. He was going to meditate. That's what he was doing. He had to quiet his mind. Anyone who has healing gifts, psychic abilities, the clairs, you know, they're in touch with their intuition. We have to take time to ourselves. We have to just have that quiet time in order to process. Because when you go out into the world, more than likely, you're picking up on so many things, more than a lot of people do pick up on, because you are energetically sensitive. So you're taking in things about a lot of people, and you're able to do that because you have gifts. So because you're feeling and sensing your way through the world in a much more detailed way, in a much deeper way, you don't just go through this life like, oh, you know, and very surface. No, you're feeling things on a deep level for most of your life. Most of the time that you're out and about or up and awake and alert, you're taking in so much more information. So for that reason, you have to create time in your schedule to just decompress and let yourself rest and relax and rejuvenate and contemplate. Because a lot of those things you pick up on, you're gathering lessons as well. It's like you're taking in data. And a lot of people go out there and they're in the world, they're, you know, doing their shopping and interacting with people, and they don't notice half the shit that you do. They don't notice it because you're energetically sensitive. More than likely, you went through something, perhaps as a child or a young adult, that changed your life forever. Changed your life forever. Okay? I don't want to trigger anyone, but this is an important message to get through to someone. Because it's important to understand why you feel different or why you notice that you're different from other people. It's something that's so beautiful about you. And I feel like, you know, that might be one reason why you're separating yourself from this situation. There's something about this person or this environment that you were in that was cruel. You experienced cruelty. And this person or these people may have attacked you for being different, or may have made things difficult for you because they noticed that you had a certain level of awareness that they didn't, and they were jealous of that. They're jealous of that. Okay. Deity, divine creator, supreme being. You have a special connection to the cosmos. That's a part of what this is. So when you went into this environment, whether it was in your home and you're with this ex, or, you know, this person that you were with, or when you went into the workspace, into this work environment, this is what they saw when they looked at you. This is what they saw. And instead of being like, wow, I want to learn from you, or wow, that's cool, you know, like, they felt threatened by it. They felt threatened. Okay, children could be important here. Children, creations, investments. I just heard you stand by your children. So if you have children, you're a very good parent to them. That always comes through. You're a very good parent. You stand by your children. Okay? And I just looked at Two of Cups. It's like, if there's any guilt that you have as a parent, please release that. Because you've stood by your children. And you know what just came through? So for those of you who are leaving a relationship, this person might be either threatening you or making you think, like your person that you're leaving, or your ex, however you want to refer to them, they could be trying to make you think that you're not a good parent, or trying to use the children in some sort of settlement. You know, using them as either a form of blackmail, you know, a way to blackmail you, or to control you, or some sort of way. I'm getting emotional manipulation, trying to wear you down, making you think that if you do something or take a certain route, that you're a bad parent. And you're not. You're not a bad parent, okay? You're a great parent. That's why that message came through. Okay, there's someone here who's an alpha, a leader, you're assertive and dominant. I feel like this is you. This is a very positive trait. Okay, and that's one thing that this situation is doing. It's helping you to realize that you are assertive. It's helping you to get in touch and in tune with your assertive nature, which might be something that you sort of shied away from before in the past. Okay, there's Capricorn here. There could be Capricorn energy involved. And if not, I mean, we all have all 12 houses, so even you have Capricorn in your houses, but the energy that's really coming through is dedication, stability, and prosperity. Okay, so Capricorn. Okay, we've got third wheel here, theft, and binding. Oh, that feels like a previous reading I did. Okay. Listen, there was somebody here. I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, copycat. Yeah, ooh, yeah. So copycat. Whoever this person is that you're leaving or you're separating yourself from, they involved a third party to do magic. Because what I'm getting is that this person may not have a very deep awareness of magic, but someone does. And they used someone else's knowledge or connection that they have with someone else in order to try to do a binding to keep you stuck. That's what I'm getting with the third wheel here. Like, they used a third party. Look at that card. They used a third party to try to get them in on the situation. Now, there could have been some shady stuff going on as well. Okay, because looking at this card, it's like it's definitely sexual. Okay, so this could have been somebody that they were interested in, the person that you're leaving. They were interested in them, but they also sought their advice or their help with trying to bind you to them so that you would not leave. And they did this in order to steal something from you, to take something from you that isn't rightfully theirs. This could be money. This could be in order to get some sort of settlement to go their way. This could be about land or property. Okay? And this could all, because the children card is right there, this could also be in order to get a ruling in their favor regarding the children. Spirit spilling all the tea. Okay. Yeah, they did this to have their gains. They wanted to level up. Whoever this was that was doing energy work or had energy work done on you, they did this in order to increase their wealth. For some of you, this person wanted to increase their status or their, like, how they appear to other people. They wanted to look good, and they were afraid of what other people would think. So this is over here with you. Okay, you've got this card here with this Mother of Knives card. I'm seeing that you're a healer. You've awakened a lot of your alpha energies where you're able to be assertive and you really don't give a fuck what anybody has to say about it. Also, you're showing unconditional love. This is for those of you who have been criticized as a parent. Whoever it was that you were in a relationship with, if they told you that you were not a good parent, they lied. That was a huge lie, and not only a huge lie, but it was cruel. It was cruel. Also, you're empowered. And this is the energy that you're attracting as well. You're attracting empowered energy and empowered people to you. The people that, yeah. So someone has been doing work to try to, not just energetic work, to try to control the outcome of a situation, but also they've been snooping and perhaps hired a detective, or they could have been doing detective work themselves in order to figure out what you're doing, okay? What you're up to. This feels like a very obsessive energy. Okay, you're keeping it 100 because you know what's for you and you know what's not. And there's something that you are completely over it with. You know, it's like and I feel like there was something that was said that was just the last straw. It was the last straw. You knew that it was time. It's like that's when you packed up your box. You had your box, your desk, you got all your stuff, put it in the box, and gave them your, what is it, your 2 weeks, your pink slip, 2 weeks. You were done. You were done. And for those of you walking away in a relationship, you just knew. You just knew. Okay? So you're a very honest person. Yeah, and this person is completely and totally hung up on you. And they're trying to, like, everywhere they look, they see you. Everywhere they look, they see you. Yeah, they have an obsessive attachment. They're focused on you. Fixated. This doesn't feel healthy at all. It feels like this obsession has gone to the point of impacting this person's mental health. And so I feel like Divine is bringing through these cards just to confirm for you that you have made the right choice, because what you chose was your inner light. You chose to be done with all this, I want to say witchy poo stuff that they're trying. Because, you know, I do ritual workings as well, and I take it very seriously, but I also always uphold spiritual law with whatever it is that I do. And a lot of people out here, you know, they just don't care. They just don't care. And when you care more about an outcome, wanting to get what you want, because you want your life to go the way that you want it to go, but then you don't care about the quality of life of the people that you say you love, or the quality of life of the people in your work environment, because that's a family environment. You're supposed to have a sense of family in a workplace environment. But when people only care about themselves, and they'll throw whatever hexes or whatever it is that they think is going to work in order to produce an outcome, but also, you know, that's energy. And everyone will be held accountable for every single working that they do. And so that's what I want you to know, is that all of this work that this person has done to try to control you, cleanse your energy, protect yourself, call upon your ancestors, spirit allies, whatever spirits you work with, or the divine itself, and know that you're safe and protected. And know that you're making the right choice as well. Know that you have made the right choice. Thank you, Spirit. This person is getting every bit of that evil energy right back to them. Everything that they have done to try to control you, it is backfiring. It's already started. You may have noticed this. If you look at the person, you can tell. You can tell. Divine, I want to ask just a little bit on the intentions of this person who has been trying to control this beautiful being so obsessively. What are their intentions toward the collective? Uncertain. My intentions are not yet clear. I'm still trying to figure you out. And that's because this person doesn't have a clear sense of self. So everything that they do, they're looking at you and deciding their next plan. What else, Divine? So they do have some unclear intentions. It's like Spirit isn't revealing it all. But the reason why is because this person they're not assured enough of themselves in order to even communicate clearly. That uncertain card lets me know that this person really is not in a healthy state of mind, because they don't even know everything that they want. But yet they are so busy trying to manipulate you with spiritual work. They want support. They want support from you. They know that they're sorry. They know that they need to apologize for what they did. They might be yelling. They said, I'm mad at you, I'm unhappy, and I want you to feel as badly as I do. They want a small favor. I'm hoping that you can help me with something small. Divine says the time has come to part ways. And deep down inside, this person knows on a soul level that the time has come for them to part ways. They are just holding on because they don't know what else to do. But on a soul level, this person knows that they need to let go because it's not healthy anymore. Their attachment to you is no longer healthy. They know that they need to let go. Okay. Know that you're supported on this journey because you are in alignment with your inner light. You have chosen to do what is right for you and what is truly in your best interest. So that's why Archangel Michael already let you know that he's with you, because you're in the right. Okay? All right, Archangel Michael, please leave us with a message for this beautiful being. He's leaving you with 2 more. The way forward is open. This card number 32. 3 and 2 is 5. So in all conflict, know that the way forward is open. When you experience conflict, you're going through it. Okay, it's never going to stop you. So keep going. You're not trapped. Possibilities and opportunities abound. Archangel Michael says that he will guide you to personal and spiritual freedom. You're definitely moving towards freedom. You are protected. Okay, that's card 39. 3 and 9 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. That's your interactions with other people. Okay, all of your collaborations. Any situation where you're in an environment with other people, know that you are protected, okay? You are safe within my bubble of light, Archangel Michael says. You can proceed with confidence. All right? Okay, beautiful being, I hope that these messages were helpful to you. I hope that they gave you some clarity, some good vibes, and some support. All right? I wish you peace, I wish you joy, and I wish you so many blessings. Take care.